Let's discuss the difference between a long condor and a short condor, aka an iron condor. So a long condor is just a combination between a debit call spread and a debit put spread. A short condor is a combination of a credit call spread and a credit put spread. So basically, on a long condor, you want the stock, basically to move outwards. And if it's a short condor or an iron condor, you want the stock to move inward. So what do I mean by that? Let's give an example of all of them. So if you had ABC stock, you would form an iron condor. Let's say if the stock was trading at 100, you would buy a call with a strike of 110 and sell a call with a strike of 120. So naturally, we want the stock to move towards 120. Now, if we wanted to, the second part of it would be buying a put with a strike of 90 and selling a put with a strike of 80. So we either want the stock to move upwards to 120 or downwards to 80. So we want the stock almost like a straddle. You almost want it to go outwards, right, towards the outer strike prices. And in that scenario, your max loss is just going to be the net premiums you paid because you're buying the more valuable strikes and you're selling the less valuable strikes. And then your max gain would just be either the most, whichever one's more valuable, depending on. Well, it would be the same if you had the same gap. So it'd just be the 10 that you would make on the difference in the strikes minus whatever premiums you paid, minus the net premium paid. So because of the fact that you would gain if the stock went from 110 to 120, right? You'd gain 10 or 1,000, or you would gain if the stock went down from 90 to 80, you'd still gain 1,000 minus the net premiums you paid. Now contrast that with a short condor or an iron condor. So the stock's at 100, you sell a call at 110 and you buy a call at 120. And then you sell a put at 90 and buy a put at 80. So essentially you want the stock, both options to expire worthless. So you want it basically to go in between. So whether you're at somewhere between 90 to 110, you get your max gain, which would just be the net premiums you received, which is, the total of the premiums minus the cost of the options that you paid, because the options that you sold are more valuable than the options you paid. And then your max loss would just be the net premiums minus the 10, because of the fact that you, 10 minus the net premiums. So 1,000 minus whatever you received with the premiums. I mean, that's just because of the fact that I created a $10 gap between 110 and 120. It could be different depending on how different the prices are. If it was, 110 to 115, then it would be 5 minus the net premiums. So hope that makes sense on a conceptual level. Please like and subscribe and listen for more. Thanks.